Hey folks, welcome back to the Transplant Over again today. My name is Jim Merle, and today I'm going to pause for just a moment to do a review of the MAIRDI air purification system. Now, if you're not familiar with this product, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't either up until about a month or so ago when they actually sent me this over free of charge to review. Although I'm not obligated to say or do anything in the video, I just told them I'd give them an honest review, and hopefully that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, this product is available over on Amazon. I think there's a link to their website as well. I'll try to put links in the description below for both of those. Both of those will be affiliate links, which means I'm going to get a tiny commission off of this. However, like with Amazon, for example, that changes nothing about your pricing. That just means Amazon gives me like 20 cents or something if you buy one of these. Nonetheless, I'll put all that links in the description, so you can go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Now, I've done a number of reviews here on the channel concerning air purification, okay? Basically, I'll be honest with you, this is one of those things I had not really thought about up until about a year or so ago. And then when I kind of got into it, I decided, yeah, this is a really good idea for anyone, particularly for us as transplant recipients. Being that we're immunosuppressed, one of the easiest ways we can go about protecting ourselves is by trying to keep the air around us as clean as possible. So it's not always about masking up, especially in your own home. We don't want to do that, probably not necessary. But if you can keep your home a little bit cleaner, the air itself a little bit cleaner, you're going to do a lot to help yourself out, particularly as far as respiratory type infections, allergies, that sort of thing. And as a side note, this air purifier, along with a few others I have in my house, they've helped me not have to clean houses often because there's just not a lot of dust. It's captured all the dust, and so you don't feel the need to go around and clean as far as dust goes as often. Now, we still clean our house, but we just don't have to do it as often, or if we do, we just don't collect as much dust as we used to because this and a few others, they're really doing the job. Now, as I said maybe earlier, I've done a number of reviews on various different products, some of them just kind of Amazon knockoff cheapos. I've got decent success out of that. I've done air purification systems by Medify Air, which is a medical grade quality air purifier. I thought those were absolutely great, and so when I was invited to be a part of this one right here, I kind of thought to myself, we'll see how it goes, but I didn't expect much. However, I'll say up front, this is kind of a spoiler alert, this thing is a lot nicer than I expected it would be. I really just did not have any idea what to expect, but when I got it, I found out this is a lot nicer. It's very heavy, very sturdy. Oops, I just turned it on. But it's very heavy, it's very sturdy. It's really just a lot heavier duty unit than I expected it would be when I got it. So just kind of go over some of the features I'll tell you about, and then I'll show you. First of all, this does have 3-stage filtration built into it. It's a HEPA 13 filter, which basically is a really good filter. That filters out 99.9% of particles in the air down to 0.3 microns, which is really good. HEPA 13 is kind of top notch in that. It does have 3-stage filtration, however. There is a pre-filter on the outside, then the HEPA filter itself, again HEPA 13 on the inside, there's a carbon filter. So this can not only help you with, kind of filtering out the allergens and dust in the air, but can help with smells as well. So if this is one you wanted to keep around the kitchen or maybe the bathroom, you know what I'm talking about, it would be a really good one for that because it does do a good job in filtering out smells. And as I have used this over the course of about 2.5 or 3 weeks personally, I thought it'd be one I'd kind of throw in there, give it a shot, and then put it in the pile. No. It's been in full use, full active service for about 3 weeks because of that filtration that it does have. Now, it's got 3 sleep timers on it. I'll show you those in a moment. They're at 2, 4, and 8 hour increments. So if you want to just kind of hit a button and leave this thing alone, maybe walk out to the house and leave it, or put it in this mode when you're going to bed, whatever, you can set it for 2, 4, or 8 hour modes. That's very handy. It's got 4 fan speeds, which surprised me. It appears to have 3. I'll show you that in a moment, but it does have a high, medium, low, and a turbo, which the turbo really is turbo. They do brag that this goes down to 23 dBs on its quietest mode, and that's pretty quiet. That really, you just don't even detect it. As a matter of fact, the first time I got it into that mode, I thought I had turned it off, honestly. I kept messing with it. I thought I'd turned it off. Turns out it wasn't off. It was just running at a lower speed, therefore that quieter speed right there. But this one is set to filter 161 cubic feet of air per minute. So this is not a large room air purifier per se. However, again, it really does the job for the rooms that it would kind of be designed for, which might be like a 10 foot by 11 with an 8-foot ceiling or something like that. It does a great job. And if you want to put it in a larger room, that's not to say it won't do anything. It just means it's going to take it longer to get it done. So I've had this in several rooms in the house, mainly in the kids' rooms. That's been a good place for that. They have a lot of seasonal allergies, particularly this time of year, and it's done a tremendous amount to help them. And so that has been handy in that. So that's kind of the basic specs. Now I'll go through and show you a little bit about what's on top. Obviously, it's just plug and play kind of a thing here. But you need to remember as you're getting started with this, when you first unbox it, before you plug it in, and mine's plugged in now, but before you do plug it in, you need to open it up on the bottom side right here. If you can see that, just kind of give this a, I don't know, maybe a quarter turn, and that's where the actual filter is right here. You can see it coming out. That's where the filter is. But when you first get that filter is in a plastic bag, so you got to get that off, or you're going to know it here in a few minutes when it obviously either doesn't work or it starts to smell or something. But take the plastic bag off. Once you get that done, you're ready to go, lickety split, and you can get this thing running. Now, all of the controls, of course, I showed you the filtration comes in from the bottom, but all of the controls aside from that are right here on the top. They're all really sensitive touch controls, which I really appreciate the fact that it, instead of having the pushable, clickable buttons, it's a touch control panel, and that's really nice. It's very sensitive. I would say if I had to compare it up, and this is positive to say this, it's about as accurate and sensitive as my iPhone. So that's been really handy that the touch screen on top really does work well. So as far as the controls, I'll just show you those right quick. If I can get that position right where I can see it. The very first one you're going to be concerned about is obviously the power button right there in the middle. We'll turn it on in a moment. From that point on, you've got your speeds right here, the fan speeds. Again, there is a low, medium, and a high, and a turbo. You're about to see that. Here's where the fan timer comes on, and you can kind of click right here. 3 different timers again, 2, 4, and 8 hours. And then you've got your night mode, which is the very, very handy mode. Now, that's going to turn off the lights you're going to see in a moment. It's going to turn off those lights, and it's also going to allow you to get it down to a really quiet level where it doesn't bother you as you're sleeping. And that's about it, I think. There is a filter change light that comes on here when the filter gets needing to be changed. Obviously, I haven't seen that yet, so I can't even tell you what that does. I guess it lights up one of the existing buttons or something, but I can't tell you what that does. The bonus for this, and I didn't mention this a moment ago, one of the bonuses for this particular model that's helped me out, being that I've had it in the kids' room, it not only has the UV light, which does some more filtration. I like that, but it has a nightlight mode where kind of the whole top glows, and they sleep with a nightlight typically, but they've allowed us to just use basically this for their nightlight, and they're loving it. They think it's the coolest thing they've ever seen. It does have a child lock mode, by the way, if you press and hold, where you can lock out those little fingers and that. But let's go ahead. I'm going to hit the button a few times so you can kind of hear it and see what's going on. We're going to power it on. I think when it powers on right now, it's going to come up to the first speed. And so we'll see that. Here's first speed. I'll try to be really quiet so you can hear that, and I'll try to show you, hopefully, what type of sound we're making at first speed. Here we go. Pretty quiet. That's low. Here comes medium. A little bit louder, but obviously not too bad. Here comes high. Now you can tell that's beginning to push some air, and then this is turbo, and I didn't even know it. I see the 1, 2, 3 here, but actually if you hit it again, that's turbo mode, if you can hear me, and it's putting out quite a bit of air in turbo mode. As a matter of fact, let me do this. I'm going to stand it back up. Get it back on turbo. You can see the paper It's kind of blowing, and I always do this. You can see that it also attracts the paper on the bottom, so that lets you know the air is it's pulling in from the bottom and coming up through the top. Now this is on the nightlight mode, so I guess you can see, let me turn it back. You can see the glow that's going on right there. That is not the UV light. That's a different light from the UV light. This is the night mode. And so if I hit this right here, that's the UV light right here at the top. So that goes ahead and turns on the UV light and just adds to the filtration. That's something I really do appreciate about this unit, particularly at this price point. You don't always get the UV light. You certainly don't get the turbo speeds and the H13, so that's a positive. Of course, here were the timers. That's the 2. Click again the 4 and click again the 8, and that will put it in night mode. Now you'll see as this fan goes down, the night mode itself, and how quiet it really gets. So I'll be quiet for that and we'll see. That's probably not even detectable on the video when it is in night mode. So nonetheless, what I think about the product, I think overall it's surprisingly nice. It's very heavy, very sturdy. Again, it doesn't cover a huge amount of space. 161 cubic feet per minute is what it is graded to do, but I really think it does a really good job with the room size. It's a little smaller, a bedroom, a bathroom, an apartment, a dormitory. It could do well in a single room or a smaller space. Does a really good job. And then the fan speeds, the timers, the night mode, the filter change indicator, sleep mode, the locks on it, as well as the UV light. All of those are positives that you're adding on top of that 3-stage filtration. So if I'm going to recommend something, I've got to be willing to use it. And this is something I've used for the past 3 weeks. And as soon as I get done with this video, it's going right back in the kids' room because it's just done that good of a job. So I highly recommend this air purifier. I think it's a really good buy at its price, and there'll be some discount codes in the links below. Be sure to look in the description for that, some discount codes, as well as the links to go ahead and order this. And I'm excited. I'm really excited to be able to share this with you. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to just review everything that comes in. I've got piles of stuff over here that I won't touch because I don't like it, so I'm not going to tell you about it. But if it is something that I'm willing to use myself like this, yes, I'm sharing it with you, and I'm happy to do so. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, stay stronger, friends.